Hello, this is Greg Allison with Green Greg's coming to you on the 8th of April, 2021. Time on deck is 03:0500 hours Central Daylight Time. Yes, this is the wee hours of the day. Sometimes this is when I got to do work. All right, we're going to have a talk. We're going to have a very green talk, a talk about why we need to return to green, why we need to return to some of the old ways, maybe in new ways. But clearly, here's the issue. Chemicals in our life are causing severe threats to our society over the long term. Chemicals such as BPA and bisphenol, which are rendering our population potentially sterile by the year 2045. Chemicals such as the chemicals that go into processed foods, the preservatives, which are causing cancers and mainly attacking our immune systems. And Lord knows the bugs going around, we all need strong immune systems. So plastics, processed foods, and also our new hand washes, the stuff we're using to make us safe from the bug going around. A lot of them have been found to cause cancer causing benzene. Holy smoking guacamole. This is what we're getting into. Now, just to give you a preliminary into this, endocrine disrupting chemicals, which disrupt our hormones, like the BPA or bisphenol A and phthalates, are threatening to render big changes to both females and males, but males in particularly are threatened to be sterile by 2045, just 24 years from now. And this is according to epidemiologist Shauna H. Swan. Sperm counts are rapidly falling, and because of these chemicals. They also would be affecting livestock, our food, wildlife, our environmental support system, our life support system on this planet. A lot of things are at stake here. There's just many things because of our modern life that are causing us challenges. Now, I'm not anti-technology. I'm just saying that we need to stop and look at how we live, what we use, what we put in our bodies, what we expose ourselves to, and how we can control it and make it better. And there's ways to do that that would actually make our lifestyle far better than it is now, far more productive, far healthier. We would be far happier. I'll show you that toward the end of this talk. Now, we're going to kind of get into this a little bit. So I'm going to do a share here. I'm going to do a couple of shares. Bing. Hang on. So what we're going to do here is we're going to go into, good. As a matter of fact, I think we should start here.
Just one word.
Just one word. What was the most important word? The most important advice from the movie The Graduate from 1967. Yeah, it was kind of an interesting movie, right? Especially for 1967. The one word.
Yes, sir. Are you listening? Yes, sir. Plastics.
Plastics. Well, there you go.
Exactly. How do you mean? There's a great future in plastics.
Great future in plastics. From the standpoint of 1967, I'm sure that appeared to be true. Wow, look what all we've done in plastics since then. Yikes, yikes. But look what it threatens to do to us in return. Holy guacamole. We've got to go back to a more organic lifestyle. I'll talk about that toward the end of this video and ways to do that. So, but in the meantime, hey, listen, I cover videos on that. I cover videos on how you can eat from the weeds and trees, how to grow your own food without having to go to the stores to buy fertilizers and pesticides and herbicides and all that junk, which you don't need. I cover these kind of things in my videos. How to raise food in your living room, the microgreens, and grow it totally natural. These are things you can do to give yourself better food, but you've got to control other exposures here. So subscribe to my channel, bang the update notification bell, and click all, because I'll bring you more stuff on all of these things. But also, just a quick shameless plug, bing, you need to grow your own food. You need to garden. You need to start now. This is planting season, and there's no better place to come than True Leaf Market. True Leaf Market has a huge selection of vegetables. Look, non-GMO gardening seeds. This is non-GMO. It is heirloom. You can plant these seeds, or you can save the seeds from these plants, replant them, get the same thing back. Look, there's many garden seeds for vegetables, herbs, flowers, cover crops. You can grow your microgreens, sprouts, wheatgrass, and you can get supplies to grow all these things. Everything you need and information about how to do it. For example, if you come in here and let's just pick cucumbers. Bing. Everybody knows cucumbers, right? Come in here and what happens? Ding, 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 ding. You pick one of these. Let's say any one of them. Everybody knows the Boston pickling cucumber, right? Well, the cool thing is, this tells you all about growing it, days to maturity, and advice on this particular crop. There's some of these actually give a lot more advice than that, but I guess it don't take a lot for Boston cucumbers. Anyway, so there we go. Check it out. Check out my links in my channel. Support my channel. I have them in the show notes and in the pin notes to Tree Leaf Market. That will help me and it'll help you, because you need to grow your own stuff and start going organically and use the methods I talk about in my videos, including worm farming. Yeah. So we got the graduate behind us. Let's kill some of these things out of here. So look at this. Most men will be infertile by 2045. And I guess this is her. This must be Miss Shauna H. Swan. I wouldn't guarantee that though, but it seems to be the indication here. And of course, 2 main points to understand from her research. And most men will be fertile, and it's going to get worse as time goes on, it says here. And it talks about how this disrupts the hormones. And while these include forever chemicals which don't wash out. Some of these chemicals, when you get them in your system, you got them. Wow, these are cumulative. Is this the kind of stuff we need in our environment, just everywhere? How do we avoid these chemicals that cause more men become infertile? He says we don't, because we brush up against these endocrine disrupting chemicals every time we eat processed food. Well, quit eating processed food. Wash our hair with shampoo. You know, we can pick other kind of shampoos. We can make natural shampoos, or walk barefoot on a vinyl floor. Really? Well, stay off the vinyl, or don't go barefoot if you got to be on it. Yikes. Yeah, and it'll begin to show up in our water. Well, that's because of the runoff from using all these things. You know, we need deep wells and really good filtration systems, okay? There are solutions, guys. They say, oh, you can't escape it. Yeah, you can. Most of our soaps have phthalates. Our plastics have BPA. And when we find BPA-free plastics, they're mostly created by companies who found another solution with materials that still have endocrine-disrupting chemicals. I hear they're more often than not even worse than the bisphenol A. That's what BPA is. Guess what, guys? You can make your own soaps. You can make your own shampoos. We can get out of this system of doing these things. You know, maybe I need, I'll try to do videos one day to show you, or do videos with other people that already do these things to show you how you can make your own stuff like this. And for those that don't have time, maybe eventually one day we can offer these as products. But for now, we just got to know, and you know what, form communities. Everybody can't do everything. So we're going to form these tribal groups, these organizations, these communities, and different people can have different skills to do these things. We need to get out of the use of all this junk that's polluting us and doing so much damage to our bodies. Yeah, these chemicals are also affecting animals in our environment. Yeah. So this is going to more than just people. So it's just not the future of humanity. This is impacting life on Earth. And her book, Countdown. Her book is called Countdown to Our Modern World. Countdown. How our modern world is threatening sperm counts, altering male and female reproductive development, and imperiling the future of the human race. Now, you may think this is not true, but when you see this, look here. In North America, Australia, New Zealand, and across Europe are more developed societies, of course, where we have lots of plastics and chemicals. Male fertility from 1973 to 2011. Okay, these chemicals started when? In the 1960s, 50s, and 2011 was 10 years ago. But just during this time frame right here, which means if you look at the overall time frame, it would be more, male fertility dropped 59, almost 60%. 59%. Our fertility is dropping like a rock. That's what this is telling us. So yay. So these researchers insist that we don't have enough evidence to say more men are infertile. Okay, yeah. So we're still working on that. But guys, this is huge. And more men are getting infertile. There's other things that say that. So, and we didn't just discover this. While there are still disbelievers, this part of the puzzle is more than expected. More men are infertile, and it's going to get worse. It's going to get worse. Guys, this our species is in trouble because of the way we're living. Wow. So let's go on down through here. Let's skip through that. Yeah, we don't need to go through this. So let's hit a few other articles here. Chemicals found in over 1,200 foods are linked to immune system damage. This is another nail in the coffin in our modern living. Man, you see all that stuff on that shelf? There is nothing on this shelf that you or your kids ought to eat or be fed. You should not be eating or getting fed anything from those shelves. Your kids should not be consuming any of that junk, all processed foods. Junk foods have more to worry about than a balloon waistline. Chemical preservatives and other additives found in many popular processed foods may be undermining snackers' immune systems. Well, gee, some of these chemicals are like tert-butyl hydroquinone, TBHQ, yeah, okay, and per or polyfluoroalkyl substances. Yeah, you find them in Kellogg's Pop-Tarts. Oh, terrible. Cheez-Its. Forever chemicals. Again, look at this word. We've seen it before. Forever chemicals. These things get in you and they're not soluble. They're not water soluble. They stick within you. Oh, yeah. And I often have non-stick lines. Oh, yeah. Another thing. Yeah. Aluminum cans. You know, inside of the aluminum cans, your food comes in, has that liner now. Babies' bottles, you know. Yeah, we have our babies drinking out of plastic bottles, and there's that little nipple they suck on. How about the teething rings? How about the pacifiers that we give to our babies? They all got these chemicals in them. They all do. Boxes, popcorn bags, all the plastic. Okay, look here. So the Cheez-Its got the preservatives in it, and this has got some of them, but it's also got that plastic junk. Okay, you see that plastic? There you go. How many times you get food, even in a paper box, it's got a plastic liner inside. Your tin can that you get your canned food in has a liner inside it too. And guess what? That liner's got bisphenol A in it. So they're not even talking about the bisphenol A's here. They're talking about TBHQ and PFAS. Okay, so that's the two they're talking about in this article. It's just more darn chemicals, guys. What's all the stuff that's in your shampoo? Read the chemicals. If you can't pronounce the ingredients, you shouldn't use it. You shouldn't use it on your body, in your hair. You shouldn't be brushing your teeth with. You know what I brush my teeth with? Baking soda and hydrogen peroxide. There you go. Baking soda and hydrogen peroxide. You know what? You can make toothbrushes from black gum trees. I covered that in one of my videos. You don't need plastic toothbrushes. They didn't have plastic toothbrushes, 80 years ago, but they had toothbrushes. So guys, we can get around this. Now everybody may not have a black gum tree. Here's another one. Researchers discovered high levels of cancer-causing chemicals in some hand sanitizers. They say Purell don't have them, but hey, just in your hand sanitizers, if you can't, look at them and see what the chemicals are in them. Like everything else, do the same thing. Now look, see, this is not new. This article comes from 27 May 2005. 2005. 16 years ago. Gender bender chemicals found to feminize boys. Okay. So 16 years ago, we already knew this. We actually knew it before then. Undescended testicles. Change in masculinity Criticizing that. Okay, say what, guys? We knew this 16 years ago. And has anything been done about it? I mean, anything at all been done about it since then? Okay, they changed bisphenol A to other chemicals that are worse. So in essence, no, nothing. But you know what? We have to not rely on the powers that be in the governments and regulator agencies, which are in bed with the regulatees and serve the industry instead of you and me, and they use our tax dollars to do that. We got to take matters into our own hand. We'll be talking about that in a minute. Take matters into our own hand. Hang on, guys. So, bing. And here's an article from a little over a year ago, April 3rd, 2019. What are gender bender chemicals doing to our boys and girls? And here he said, I saw this Alex Jones clip and I thought the guy was crazy. Well, Alex Jones, it can't be true. Then you saw an article, New Scientist, that claimed, yeah. So because Alex Jones said that chemicals are making frogs gay. Well, yes. Apparently it's messing them up in some way, maybe not gay, but maybe, they're just not able to reproduce. Who knows, maybe they are. The incriminating figures came from a study of 85 baby boys born to women exposed to everyday levels of phthalates during pregnancy. And they're just talking about the phthalates. They're not talking about biphenyls. Data demonstrates blood and urine samples from children and adolescents containing toxic chemicals, including endocrine disrupting BPA, biphenyl A, which increase the risk of heart attack, obesity, asthma, and reproductive problems. Now, wait a minute. We're having a whole lot of heart disease. We're having a lot of obesity. We're having lots of asthma and reproductive problems in our society today. And we got the cancers. Yeah, remember that article about the processed food? Holy guac smoke-a-moly. So here it is, my friends. Here it is. Yes, a $13 billion industry, 20 billion, will grow to 20 billion by the year 2020. 20 by 2020. Wow. So you got a vested interest to keep this going. So where do you find these things? Food, cosmetics, cleaning products. Yeah. They're linked to birth defects, testicular cancer, falling sperm counts. See, this just goes on and on. To testicular diagenesis syndrome. Wow, and they're working in combination with other things. So this just goes on and on and on. The number of testicular cancer cases among men in the 20s and 30s have been doubling every 25 years. Doubling every 25 years. Prevent sex organs from developing. Normally, chemicals are found to include pesticides such as DDT. So there's pesticides in there too, and other nasty stuff. It says, as these chemicals have been seem to have a feminizing effect on boys, the girls swing the other way toward being more masculine. Gender bender chemicals make girls aggressive. Some of all the girls want to fight these days and the boys don't. Yeah, okay, I like that picture, right? I think that's really saying it, my friends, in many ways. Wow. Bing. Yeah, it's also the other chemicals. So here's the book. There it is. I started touching on some of this stuff a while back in a concept for a habitat I had, and I did a video on it called The Greenest Concept Ever. See this, guys? The greenest concept ever. Now, this is actually a simulation in a program called Kitely, which is like, a whole nother world. You can walk around in and do all kind of stuff. Yeah, it's like Second Life, Kitely. And this thing here is actually a conceptualization of my universal habitat concept. Bing. And I'm going to show you a lot more on that in the future. So hang on, let me show somebody. How do you find that? Well, just go into my videos and click videos and scroll down till you find it. And it's down there. Ding, 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 ding. Just got to scroll down a little ways because I put this out a couple of months ago. I've done a lot of videos since then. And while you're scrolling by there, you might get a little preview into something I'm going to be talking about in the future. Educational eco communities. That might be something that would be heading toward the goals we're talking about. So let me show you something else worth a shout. We'll stop that share. Halo. All right, where we go? Halo, where we go? We're going to go to another share. I got to open this up before I share it. One momentum, please. As Lillian Tomlin used to say. Who's Lillian Tomlin? Does anybody not know? All right, hang on. Share screen. And here you'll be seen. And it is, my friends. Ding, 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 ding. I've been doing some work on my universal habitat concept. I've been having somebody else do a lot of work on it. I've hired an architect to flesh my ideas out, make them look pretty, because I'm not an artist. Well, not like that. I can draw some things, but this was a little beyond, what I saw in my mind. I couldn't quite put to pen. I had a beautiful concept in mind, and here it is. This is my universal habitat. Home you make a living out of, live out of, grow your food out of. So guess what? You're growing your food fresh, and it's going straight from the garden to your plate. And you can do it 24/7. You don't even have to store it in a home like this. But if you do have to store it, I'd say can it in a glass jar. So it don't have all those chemicals. And it lasts longer. You don't need refrigeration. So, or dry it. Can it, dry it. Do something natural. Any event. So this is one of the solutions. I got a whole lot more aspects as to how this will get us away from all that kind of stuff and help our environment in many ways and make people more free and independent all at the same time. Radical notions. I'm going to do a special video just on this, revealing these pictures and talking to them in some detail in a not too distant future, real soon. So that's another reason to subscribe to my channel. Bang the upload notification bell and click all, because I'll be showing you more and more of this kind of stuff. And I'll do it on this channel and also my sister channel, Galactic Gregs. I'll take it up to another step, which is not within the purview of this channel. All right, there you are, my friends. We can live in communities. I'm promoting the idea of tribal communities, just communities where we have survival. But also, these communities could be a place for us to grow our food, to live more naturally, to get in harmony with nature. We could trade amongst each other. We could get out of the system and have our own system, our own economy, trading amongst each other, who's people that specialize in developing nice, clean products that don't have all this junk in them. There's plenty of people. I know plenty of people that make their own soaps, shampoos. Hey, I do my own toothpaste. It's easy. You can get away from all that stuff. You don't have to have plastic packaging. You don't have to have cans that's got those liners on them. Glass. Grow your food. Grow it naturally. Don't use the pesticides, the herbicides, and all that stuff. I do videos on that. But if I spend most of my time showing how to do garden bed prep. And some people think, oh my God, it's boring. Why don't you just start planting stuff? Because that's more important to learn that than it is what to plant. Or how to plant. Well, it's important too, though. That's very important, because that's not something just, people take for granted. I can just put a stick in the ground and grow anything. Oh no, you might think that. It might work a year or two until the deer come or the bugs come or whatever else. Get bad weather. But really and truly, gardening is a skill. It's more than a skill. It's a practice, kind of like medicine. You've got to learn as you go, and things change, so you've got to be adaptable. So I talk about these kind of things on this channel. So there you go, my friends. What's the solutions? The solutions are to for us to develop our own communities, or at least you develop. Hey, if nothing else, you got a homestead. Can your own food. Put it in a greenhouse. Grow fresh food as much as you can. Elliot Coleman has an excellent book. I think it calls 4 Seasons or Harvest. He's a nice guy. He lives up in Maine, and he has greenhouses, and he grows year-round fresh food and eats from them. He don't preserve anything, and yet he doesn't even use supplemental heat in his greenhouses. So he teaches you how to do those kind of things too. Oh yeah, Coleman's a cool guy, and he was one of the fathers of this new grow your own urban farming kind of communities. But he started it some time back, and he's an excellent individual. I've had the privilege of talking to him, and he should be highly regarded. Also, hey, still Buy local. Help your local communities as much as you can, my friends. There are many reasons for that, which I talk about quite often. So if you want to join the Survival Tribes, email me and info@freedomrestorationfoundation.org. The address and links are below, just like the links to Truly Market. Also, if you want to join the Freedom Restoration Foundation, restore our freedoms, just put same address, but freedom in the subject line. If you're interested in joining our tribes or communities, put tribe in the subject line. That way, we'll sort you out as to which way your interests are. You might be interested in both. If so, say both, or send 2 emails. Might be better. All right, my friends. We have challenges, but we can face them. They can be dealt with. Some people aren't going to pay any attention. Those people may just not have descendants. That'd be kind of tragic, because if our population drops precipitously, we're going to be in a world of hurt, believe it or not. That great, we have too many people. No, we don't. It's just how we live. When you see the beauty of this habitat concept that I have, you'll realize we can have a far larger population living in harmony with this planet, like 0 environmental impact, and living a lifestyle better than we have today. Better than we have today. You don't have to give anything up. You'll get more, except junk food. But you'll have real food, better food, healthier food. And you could get it and have it far easier than what you got it today. Think about that. Just think about that. We'll come up with these ways. We're working on it. That's one of the things I'm developing. That habitat, I'm planning to build them. I'm going to build a prototype. It's my plan is to build one in Arizona, one here, maybe a few elsewhere. Rex Bear, my friend Rex Bear is interested in them. He's got that YouTube channel, The Leak Project. So we might build some in Colorado. Got a lot of friends interested in this. So we'll see how this goes. But my friends, we can change this world. We can make it far, far better. And so I know you watch me this far, said, Greg, I want to be the change that I want to see. Yeah, that's something here from Rex and other people. All right, my friends. We do have issues. The chemicals in our environment are absolutely disruptive. We absolutely have to get away from them. So we got to change the way we live. And I've got concepts to help us along that way. But even if it's, you don't have to have the habitat for that. It would be good for many other reasons to have habitats like that. But have a homestead at least. Or homestead, your backyard, your front yard. You can grow so much food there. Even in your living room. Start growing your own food. Grow as much as you can. And start using glassware. Get away from plastics as much as you can. You got vinyl floors, put in wood. Maybe a rug on it wouldn't be as bad, or even if it's just throw rugs. Cover that stuff up. Don't walk on it. We got to find other ways of living in this world, okay? Well, I don't want to say very much. Thank you for watching.